all you Outshiners. How are you tonight? Hopefully everybody is doing well. I know many of you just came over for the give or take Q&A. We're so excited to have members of the cast and crew with us, so we'll talk to them a little bit later. First of all, what we need to do is thank our community partners. Community partners are people who not only support us, they say, we really love the festival. It's such an important part of the community. We're going to support you, but they also support the community itself. So we're very, very excited to have three wonderful partners with us tonight. First of all, we have Domi Real Estate Advisors Incorporated. They become the go-to core of information for successful real estate investments in Domi and throughout Miami-Dade. Their expert advisors provide a personalized and customized investment strategy in order to meet your final objectives. We offer a detailed and measurable investment portfolio growth using their asset management approach. So here is a little video to tell you a little more about Domi Real Estate Advisors.
Hi, my name is Ruben Sanchez. I'm the founder and CEO of Domi Real Estate Advisors. Domi came about as an acronym for downtown Miami. As we were walking the streets of downtown Miami once, I realized that there was no sense of cohesiveness between the businesses, the residents, and the tourists of the day. Therefore, we decided, why don't we just rename or rebrand downtown Miami to Domi? And that's how the name of Domi Real Estate came about. Domi Real Estate Advisors offers a strategic and custom investment plan for anybody interested in investing in downtown Miami, anybody interested in relocating to the area, or anybody interested in opening up a business opportunity for the area. The advantages of working with Domi Real Estate Advisors is that we've been in the area for over 10 years and we are experts at strategically placing any type of investment into the downtown community.
Thank you again, Domi. And our next community partner is Island City Stage, the performing arts organization located in Wilton Manors. They continue to support the GLBT community with works by, for, and of interest to our community. Thank you again for Island City Stage. Our lives, our stories. And finally, we have South Florida Pride Wind Ensemble, comprised of Pride Wind Ensemble, Youth Pride Band, Marching Band, Pride Jazz Ensemble. Since 1986, the South Florida Pride Wind Ensemble has been performing for you in South Florida and throughout the nation. We do have a little promo video. It's actually a short symphony excerpt called Let My Love Be Heard. Here is the South Florida Pride Wind Ensemble. Community partners, not only the community partners for this particular event, but our community partners who support our festival, Domi Real Estate, South Florida Pride Wind Ensemble, and Island City Stage. Thank you again. We are very excited for this give or take Q&A. Again, as I mentioned, we have a bunch of people who are here from the film. But before we get into that, I have one more person to introduce. That is Chris Fastine, our board chair of the Outshine board. How you doing, Chris?
Hey, how's it going? I know Mark will not be so happy to sound as like he's out of a job. I'm actually the treasurer. I get to do more fun stuff like counting our money, doing our accounting, but
it's all important. I would say I don't think people realize what our board does. Our board not only gives of their time and energy, but they do things like this as well. And
right.
It's always just a joy to see you and the other board members giving of their time. So thank you very much. But who do we have with us tonight?
We do. We have a great lineup here tonight. So first and foremost, I'd like to introduce the director and co-writer, Paul Riccio.
Well,
hey, Paul. How's it going? Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Good, good. All right. And next we have co-writer and actor. He plays the role of Martin in the film. Please welcome Jamie Effros.
Hey,
Jamie. All right, great. Next in the lineup, we've got actor. He plays Ted, Norbert Leo Butz, please.
hi everybody. Hi Chris, thank you.
Hey, how's it going, Norbert? And next we also have actor who plays Terrence in the film. It's Louis Cancelmi.
Hello.
Hello, Louis. And last but certainly not least, saving best for last, we got here Angela Malley, the producer.
Hi guys.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Great, great. So yeah, this is really our time. Just it's informal. Please jump in at any point. But maybe just to get us started, I'd love to hear from Paul as well as from Jamie. Like, how did you come about this project? How did you guys decide to embark on it? What was the inspiration?
It started about 4 or 5 years ago. Had this kind of an idea for a story about a guy in New York whose father passes up on Cape Cod where they would summer, and his father retired up there, and his son goes up there to take care of his affairs, and what's revealed is that his father had come out about 6 years prior and is living with the guy who used to cut his lawn, Ted. The first guy I thought of as for Martin was my good friend Jamie. We've worked together before on several projects, and I knew he was perfect for the part, and that evolved into a co-writing situation, and we worked really well together. Yeah, that was the inception. It was that small of an idea, and then Cape Cod was a huge part of the story. The sort of it's not about the sort of ice cream and ye old fudge shop sort of Cape Cod. It's about the Cape Cod that most people don't see. The people who are up here, 12 months out of the year, and that side of the story. And I thought that was interesting. An interesting sort of fabric to have that weave through the story. And then that's the inception. That's where it all started, and here we are.
Yeah, talk a little bit about. So you have the script. So how does it go from script to what we see? Talk about a little bit about the casting and the shooting and sort of the process and the length of time. Because I don't think people really think about the length of time some films really take to come to fruition, and other films are done pretty quickly. So sort of talk about that and give the listeners an idea.
Well, I'll start and then Jamie can pick it up. But with a film like this where you don't have a lot of money, you're hoping, you're crossing your fingers that people respond to the script, and somehow by hook or by crook you can get it made. I don't know, Jamie and I, we're just a couple of knuckleheads. We wrote the script and we were hoping for the best, but much to our delight, everyone we sent this script to really liked it. And the first person that we contacted was Norbert. Now, we're writing the script in our silo, and we're thinking to ourselves, who would be good for the role of Ted is Norbert Leo Butz. And we both gave each other that look of, yeah, sure, that's going to happen. Let's just move on to the next scene. And I think, Jamie, why don't you pick it up from here? It's kind of a funny story.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that that whole process, by the way, when we picked up the writing process from the beginning, that was over 5 years ago. So talking about timelines as far as like how long it actually takes to get from from point A to point B. It's been more than 5 years on that spectrum. But yeah, you know, it was pure kismet. We somehow were able to get in touch with Norbert's people, and the fact that he actually read the script was wonderful and got back to us and was was really, really positive about it. And that just got the ball rolling. I mean, like it's something we never thought would actually happen, but here we are.
Great. I think you mentioned you were writing in a silo. Is that figurative or is that?
Yes. No, we weren't on a farm. Yeah, you know, you work in a vacuum. You work in a vacuum. You write, and you're working in a vacuum. And to you and your writing partner, to Jamie and I, sounded good, but you don't know until you, like any art, you don't know until you put it out there and say, hey, what do you think? And we actually parallel path. I have a good friend for 20 years, Ann Goulder, who's a casting director in New York City, and we never had the opportunity to work together. And I thought of her immediately, and she loved the script, and she was so integral to getting this cast together. I mean, I couldn't have done it without her. She was that important. This is why our friend Louis Cancelmi is here. You know, Louis is an actor that I would see and admire. Television, movies, theater. But I didn't know. I didn't know him. But Anne brought him in. He came in and just blew my doors off. So that's how important a casting director is to the process. She gave the project such a legitimacy that otherwise, because no one knows who I am. I'm just a first-time director, so it was wonderful to have her as a partner.
Well, I think they will know now, but that's a good way to transition. Norbert and Louis, you were both sort of mentioned as people who were out there, but they were shocked that you were welcoming the project. So can you talk a little bit, both of you, as to what really drew you?
Well, like Jamie said, I 5 years ago, I think it was the first time that the script came to me, and it's just so funny, looking back where I was at that particular moment when I read the script. So marriage equality had just been passed, like that was it June. So I don't know, that was, I think, on my mind in the culture. I work a lot in New York theater. A lot of my colleagues, there's a lot of activists, and I so supported that movement. And then just before that, I had the sort of story of Give or Take. Actually, I had such a personal experience with. I'm from this large Catholic family, and a brother of mine lived almost parallel life to what was in the script. I couldn't believe it. He came out sort of in early middle age, with 2 kids and a marriage, and watching him sort of navigate that with my very conservative family and a very conservative community in Missouri. And then unfortunately he passed away a few years ago, right as I got the script, not long after. And did I lose you guys?
No, we're here.
Okay. Yeah, and so I don't know. This script really moved me. I rooted for everybody in the movie, and I thought it was such a compassionate, but not saccharine, not overly sentimental, but it still had a sweetness to it about people all over the country, millions of people who have gay family members, and the I guess the oppression, right, against them in terms of marital union. It's caused a lot of damage, and the film it looks at just sort of everyday people that situation affects, and it's a great group of characters. And and they feel authentic, and it just felt honest to me, and it made me laugh. It made me laugh consistently. So when I first got the script, I didn't know who Jamie and Paul were. And Jamie, I don't know if you remember this, but you sent me like a short you had made, and you were really funny. I thought you were really great in it. I thought, this guy's great. This script is fantastic. It made me cry. It made me laugh. I'm in, you know.
And Louis, your reaction to when you got the script?
Yeah, so the thing about making me laugh is actually that's what I remember when I first read it, and I remember too. I think I read it and I thought it was really funny, and I thought the character was would be a fun part for me, and it's different from a lot of things I usually get asked to do, and I didn't know. I didn't know Paul, I didn't know Jamie, but it was the script that I thought, oh, this, it's worth going in and seeing what this is about. And I remember having a really fun time in the audition, and then I think I didn't hear anything, and then like a lot of time went by, and I thought, it was kind of still in my head as I wonder whatever happened with that, because I really liked that part. I want to know what's going on with that movie. And then I guess the way movies do, it got delayed or something, and it came back around to me. And when it came back around to me, it was in a situation where I was in I don't know if I had just moved or I was about to move when the offer came in, but it was a really complicated moment in my life because I was moving and I had just had a baby, and but this thing was a fun thing. It seemed worth adding an extra, a bit of circus to the circus.
And that happens all.
No, for sure. Well, yeah, definitely the movie wouldn't. You couldn't have the movie without Ted's character. Yeah. I hear a little bit of an echo there.
Oh, sorry. Did I echo?
Sorry to cut you guys off.
No, I was just going to say.
Do I have an echo? Do you guys still?
I don't have an echo.
I hear a little echo on Chris.
Okay.
Yeah, Norbert, you were saying something?
I was just going to say that happens all the time, Louis, doesn't it, man? You go into these films and you fall in love with it. As actors, we're just waiting for the next part to be written. Unless you're creating your own content, and you get really excited about certain characters because the great writing is few and far between. I think the script it was that good. I couldn't believe it, like a studio wasn't attached to it. It seemed that generous in its audience, and Louis is right, man. You just forget about them. You think, oh, whatever happened to him? It's just kind of always a miracle to me that these things get birthed. So many stars have to align to make them happen. It's endlessly complex. So when it does, it's really worth celebrating. This is kind of what we're doing.
Yeah, no, for sure. Thanks for those answers. It's really great. Did you guys hear that echo with me, or sound a little bit better now?
Much better, thank you.
I know it's a little old-fashioned, but I'd rather have that than to hear three of me talking. So, hey, so Angela, we haven't heard from you yet as much, but would love to just hear about the process of producing this. We often hear that producer has to wear many hats, and kind of just talk about your experience working with these guys in the production.
Yeah, no, it was incredible. Like Norbert said, so many stars have to align, and it's sort of like a small miracle anytime one of these movies get made. And I was just so happy to be a part of it. Like Louis and Norbert were saying, I remember exactly where I was when I read the script for the first time. Jamie is a really good friend of mine, and he had sent it to me. And I was on a plane home I was flying from across the world. And it's one of the few times I've ever flown first class. And I was in first class. It's like the middle of the night because we're flying from Asia. And I was literally laughing out loud. And people were not impressed. They were not happy with me. But I just think, oh my God, this is so good. And I was just so happy that I was able to be a part of it. And but it's hard. Like Lewis said, there was a time where, we did postpone because Norbert was off winning Tony Awards and on Broadway and, doing his thing. And, eventually, we were able to get everyone back together again at the same time, which was amazing. And it was a lot of fun. I was 7 months pregnant on set. So when you say wearing many hats, it couldn't be farther from the truth. Like, I mean, it was the truth. I'm so tired because I have a 13-month-old in the middle of the pandemic. But no, it was amazing. But yeah, you're constantly just trying to figure out how to make things work and how do we honor this story? How do we honor the script with the limited resources we have? And I'm really proud of what we accomplished. So
yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, great.
I have to throw in.
Oh, sorry, go on.
I think I was unmuted. I have to throw in that you're a Floridian.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back, sort of.
Right.
Thanks.
Did that have any impact? Did that have any impact on you? Sort of, growing up. I don't know. Did you go to the theater? Did you sort of? It's my way out. How does a Floridian end up doing what you're doing?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, so shout out to Parkland, Coral Springs. When I was growing up, I'd go to Magnolia Theater every Friday night. That's what we do. We would actually kind of just hang out outside the theater. That was the cool thing to do when you were in middle school in Florida, because there's not a lot to do. But yeah, I always loved film, and my whole career has been about, using storytelling and the arts just to affect positive change in the world. I actually have a master's in public health. And I focus on health communication and how do we, use film to help with public health initiatives. And so this film isn't health necessarily, but it's still something that I feel like is such an important story and something that a lot of people need to see. And I hope the people that need to see it do, because unfortunately, like Norbert said, in 2020, there are still people who are not accepting of the gay community. And, my brother's in his 20s, he has friends who still can't come out to their parents. And I hope it's people like those people's parents. I hope they see it and maybe it helps move the needle a little bit on their thinking. So, I've just been super happy to be a part of this story.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that's always a role of film, particularly gay film or LGBTQ film, is to tell these stories and give people access. I mean, because yes, the story is about the story of a gay man, but it's also the story of like his family and kind of how he really adapts and is a big force in the community that he lives in as well. Yeah, I'd love to maybe ask another question, maybe put over to either to Jamie or to Paul. But I think in addition to the script, I mean, I'm not a writer, but watching the movie, so much for me was just really powerful. It's like these really kind of clever and funny, like visual moments, almost like, and we see them kind of scrolling through here. And for me, what really struck me was these images where you see like people's like heads like sticking out of different things. Like the kids, like within the first few minutes of the movie, there's the kids whose heads like sticking out of like the trash bin in the water, or later on there's, I guess, Terrence and Jamie are like they're smoking a joint in like the like in the pit. How many of those moments like that were planned, or kind of things just kind of came out through the process of filming?
It was all in the script. As Lewis and Jamie, as we all can attest to, we did not have the luxury to screw around during that shoot. We shot in 18 days, and if you think about it, it's absurd, but we did it. Yeah, so it was all in the script. It was all there. It was just a matter of executing it. And you even with that rush sort of pace, you're trying to do something besides just capture people in front of a camera. You're trying to do something artful. And I look at the film and I'm very proud of it. I knowing the sort of odds against this and what we were up against, I'm very proud of what we got and the performances. And they'll tell you, it was basically 2 takes and we're moving on. And we had some leeway here and there, but it was fast, man. It was fast. But that's the life I come from. That's the world I come from. I come from things that are like done on a shoestring and no time. So I'm used to that. I'm used to just, you get it and you move on. But back to your question, all those moments, the little kid in the garbage can, that's autobiographical. I used to do that. I used to do this as a child. I'm a Virgo, so I was very fastidious. So I used to clean the garbage pail out with an SOS pad before I got in it. But that was my pool growing up. And the weed hole, that was just something that we came up with. You got to get down. You got to get down in that earth and look at things from the horizon. So it fit perfectly with Terrence.
I think that's something that Paul is just really good at as a director, and also working with our fantastic DP Federico Cantini. Cantini, am I saying his right? Yeah. Yeah. They both had this sense. They had a real mind meld about how we were going to need to describe a lot a lot in very little time, as far as some of the visuals were concerned. So I think that some of those things as far as the visuals of the heads poking out, I think was something that I remember it becoming sort of a recurring thing that at least I was watching when I was seeing what little I could see during the shoot. That it started to reappear, and we started sort of to realize there was. I started to realize this. I thought there was something like there was something really powerful in stuff like that. But Paul is really, really great with those small visual moments, and it was.
Yeah, that's like a third. I think there was another moment where it's like basically your character and Ted are like popping their heads up in the attic to look for the raccoon. It's like I noticed when the second time I watched the film, it's like, oh yeah, that's like a third time it happened. So yeah, it's pretty funny.
Well, we got this kind of like fish out of water sort of theme going on, right?
Right.
So characters sort of always trying to sort of figure out where exactly they stand, where exactly they are in the landscape of the emotional landscape of the piece. So it always kind of made sense somehow to me.
I have a question for Lewis. How fun was this character to play? Sort of we used to call them stoners, but there was more to it than the stoner, the history, but there was you were still very complex within that role. So how much fun was that?
Yeah, no, it was very fun. It was very fun. Terrence is he's a great space to live in because he's like you say, he's more than just a stoner, but he's also he's very much I don't know. You get the sense that maybe he had to sort things out when he was younger or something, but it's kind of sorted out in certain ways. So he's exploring other things by the time you meet him in the film, and it's a fun place to occupy, to be on a different wavelength than everybody else. There's something a little bit, I don't know, he could be from the future or something. There's something a little he's off on another I don't know, not another planet, but he looks at things different like that. Like, yeah, he's at horizon level, and it's an inviting place, and it's fun to I don't know, I felt, as we were doing it too, there was room, there was room to play around a bit, but the writing is really all there. I mean, that was one thing too about Terrence. It came off the page. At least to me, it just seemed clear. And I had a couple reference points in real life to draw on, but yeah.
I think one of the funniest moments is when so Terrence and Martin had been talking in the pit about, I guess, that Martin was interested or kind of rekindling something with this girl from high school, and then there's that moment like a few hours later when they're at their house and realize that the girl is his wife. But they nothing is said, but you kind of know like they have that oh crap moment. They both look at each other, they realize what the deal is.
Yeah, and it's sweet too. And also, Terrence doesn't get. Terrence is kind of he gets to be he gets to operate from the place of love, kind of for everybody, and that's that's a fun. Yeah, that's a nice place to be.
Yeah, right. You did a great job, like I said, of taking a stoner role and making it layered and complex a little. Norbert, let's go to you. As Angela referred to, you have a very storied Broadway run career. Do you? I won't ask if you like one better, but talk sort of about what you get from each, because I hear that people who do multiple things get something from each sort of theater and TV and film. And
well, I guess I get to make a living from each, and I mean, if you the more media you can work in, the better. And so I'm grateful that I get to do a little bit of both. But yeah, most of my work overwhelmingly has been on stage. I don't know. I mean, Lewis can tell you this too, but like it is a different kind of a muscle, I guess you could say. I agree with people who say film acting or TV acting is the same as stage. It's all like trying to tell the truth and listen and live in imaginary circumstances, but it's really different in terms of like emotional energy. So when you're doing a play or a musical, over the course of 2.5 hours, it's really an actor's medium. Like nobody can mess with you when the play starts. You're editor, you're the director, you're it, man. You have total control, and you're telling a story over a course of several hours, or many hours on a 2-show day. So it's kind of a marathon. And I've always had the analogy of doing TV and film is more like a great sprinter. So you have these short bursts of really intense concentration and then many hours or moments of waiting where the muscles can get cold and you can get distracted. And on a film like this, like Paul was saying before, he's not joking, 2 takes and we move on. If we got it in the first, even better. And sometimes the scenes are quite emotional or maybe improvisational. It's scary when it's a funny scene and you want to have the nerve, the moxie to try a really big choice, but you're like, oh fuck, they don't have any money. If I screw this up and it ruins the shot, so those things are part of it. But the concentration and the physical stamina is sort of, like I said, it's sort of like a distance runner. But I enjoy both. Particularly, I guess what I like about doing film work and TV, if I can, I like the concentration of it, because you're chasing light or you're literally like trying to follow the sun, and minutes, seconds are so important. There's intense concentration, which sometimes I find hard in the theater. What with your iPhones going off and the gum snapping and the guy in the third row who's like dead asleep, or the actor who's backstage and misses their cue. So many things are out of your control. But on a film set, even if it's really quick like the one that we were on, there's quiet on the set, quiet on, if somebody yells it and they yell it for 3 blocks down the street, so you focus all this energy into this one moment. And I just find that kind of thrilling. Really, yeah, it's really cool. So God willing, I can do both.
Yeah, well, we're certainly glad that you do. Jamie, how is it writing a story and then acting? Does your mind go, which voice in your head do you listen to at what time? Or, was that difficult, or is that something sort of that you wrote so you sort of know what you want from yourself?
Yeah, I think it's exactly that. I don't think that I would ever write myself a role that I felt was going to be like a really big emotional stretch that I was going to have to like work really hard. I mean, I have to work hard, but like to really, really dig into, because I knew that I was going to be so distracted with sort of the rest of the whole storytelling apparatus around me, and knowing exactly what piece had to go where, and always having that on my mind. So, you know, I think that Paul and I wrote this character with my voice in mind, so that piece of it would be an easier piece, and so that we could focus more on everything else that had to get done. But yeah, it's a challenge. Your brain is in a lot of different places at once, between trying to focus on the really important work that you have to do in a scene, and being present with whoever you're playing across from, and like Norbert said, it's that focus. I mean, you've got to find some way to, when it's called quiet, you've got one job, and that's the only job that you can think about, and that's not easy, and it certainly wasn't easy for a first time filmmaker.
Yeah, we definitely did both smoothly and really beautifully on stage. I mean, on the screen. I'd love to hear just, you know, I mean, you know, we're obviously we're an LGBTQ film festival, or a film festival that's been around now for about 22 years. And we'd love to kind of hear just from your perspective, anyone can jump in, or all of you at some point, but what's the role and the importance of like film festivals, and especially kind of adapting like this day and age? Like, you know, we did this whole new concept really in the span of I don't know, Joe, was like a few weeks to a month to build out a virtual platform. So kind of what's your take, and what do you, and anyone can kind of jump in on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I am completely in awe of what you guys have done. The film festivals just that are making this seemingly seamless transition to a virtual platform. And I've said this before, but like a lot of people don't realize that a film festival is it's a full-time job to pull off. It goes all year long to be able to pull off a film festival. So my hat's just like completely off to all of you for being able to still do what you do, and make these experiences really vital and special, and full of voices that otherwise wouldn't necessarily be heard. And I think that, to your first question about the importance of film festivals, I mean, I think they're so hugely important, because there just seems to be this bigger and bigger divide between the mega budget, TV and film, and sort of the rest of us. And that's only gotten harder. I mean, I think about the people who have to who are in production right now. If our film was in production right now, I'm not sure that we would be able to shoot under the existing sort of strictness of COVID protocols. Not that we wouldn't want to. Of course, we'd want to do it, and we would. But I'm not sure we'd have the money to be able to do it. And also, any film, especially any film that our size, if somebody on set tested positive, that we're shut down for 14 days. That kills any film our size. That film's over. So it's a harder and harder environment for small movies. But this is the type of platform that really gives us hope, I think.
I agree. We enjoy doing it. It's like, as you said, I can't imagine being in a situation that some people are in. They either had their theatrical, some people we've been talking to had their theatrical March 13th, and just the having to retool and sort of, we're all making it work. Not just us as a festival, but other gay and lesbian festivals, and you as filmmakers and writers and actors, and so we appreciate the fact that sort of everybody's in this together. I do have one. We're running out of time. I have a final question I'd like to pose to each of you, and that's simply the takeaways from the film. What do you want people leaving the theater or leaving the virtual theater to say about your film or feeling or something. Just let's start with Paul.
Oh, he's muted.
Start again. Sorry, I think you were muted. Now
you know, empathy, love, forgiveness, compassion. You know, I think the film obviously it says a lot about what it means to be home, what home means. I think all those things that are. I don't think we've forgotten about them in the world, but I think we could be reminded more of those sort of things. Tough time for all of us, everything that's going on. Tough time all over the world, and I think those are the sentiments. Just love, compassion. We're all in it together. We're all the same. That's
very
what I
important.
hope
Angela,
we come away with it. People.
Oh my gosh, everything Paul just said. Love, empathy. I've been so honored and grateful for how well the film has been received in the LGBTQ community, and I just hope there are people that feel seen on screen, that, you know, Ted's role isn't usually seen in the mainstream, and so it's so wonderful that, you know, we can get a role like that out there. And on the flip side, empathy. You know, there's so many people that they need film to sort of open their worldview, and I hope this.
Amen. Jamie, anything to add?
Yeah, I think that what I would say is, like, I hope people come away with the idea that, you know, everyone should take the risk to be who they are. That it's a risk for everyone in one way or another. It's a risk for a lot of LGBTQ folks more than a lot of other people. But I think that, you know, Martin's character doesn't really know who he is, and it's through this experience that he starts to get a better idea of what it is to be an emotionally honest person. And I think that if we can all do the work and take the risks to be the fullest version of ourselves, then we will all be better for it, and we will all be better to each other.
You guys are making me cry. Lewis?
Everything everybody said was very nice. I would channel a little bit. I think this just comes from the movie, and maybe it comes from my experience through the movie, but I think there's a big theme in there. And then I hope, you know, I think there's kind of no way for it not to be resonant for viewers, is that there are priorities in life, and when we get away from them, things kind of can crack up and go haywire. And if we can sort of put things in their right place, you know, people that are close to you, things you should care about, what matters in life. And I mean, I think that's one of the, not to make it all about Terrence, but I think that's what another thing about so nice about inhabiting Terrence's sort of life space was he kind of had those things in proportion. And yeah, so I guess that's what I hope people take away from it.
Also a beautiful sentiment. Norbert, before I ask you, I had a question from the audience of what is your favorite Broadway show? You're muted.
Oh, my favorite Broadway show, like ever, I'm guessing.
I think that was a question from the audience, so I assume just ever.
Not that I was in.
It can be.
I don't know. You know, I think the greatest Broadway show, and I was in it, I did a tour of it. I think Cabaret is perfect a play with music that exists. Cabaret.
I would agree. Thank you. And now to close out, any sentiments, any takeaways that you have for the film that you either echo or that hasn't been mentioned?
No, I would add to, I would agree with everything my colleague said, and I would just say, a real sense of hope for independent film itself. That's what's so great about the movie. It is really, and I saw salesman here, but I'm not trying to be. The laughs are really genuine, and they're really honest, and so are the moving parts. And the script is it's a really good yarn. It's a great story with characters you really root for, and it was made for nothing. And it's inspiring to me, man. That's such quality writing, and there's comedic brilliance in the film. I'm not talking about me. And Jamie, you underestimate yourself as an actor. Your performance in this is incredible. And Cheri Oteri is going to just make you like laugh out loud. It's going to make you spit, take, laugh. And those laughs, and to not have to feel, I don't know, like you're being talked down to or that it's dumbed down. It's about real people who are really suffering and facing real life, big questions. But the humor is so lovingly woven throughout. And the fact that that can be done on such little money, I applaud you guys. I love you. So quality entertainment, that's what they'll take away.
Well, it's all of that and more. And I didn't really get a chance to say it, but it's you have this mood that it's a comedy with dramatic elements. It's a drama with comedic elements, and often one overshadows the other, and it didn't. It all felt so seamlessly, and that's all of you. It's not one or the other. It's you as a whole. So thank you for bringing.
It's like life.
It's like life. Only sometimes better. Yeah. Well, I can't say thank you enough, not only for allowing us to screen the film, but Paul, Jamie, Norbert, Lewis, Angela, thank you. Chris, thank you for being my cohort. David, thank you for your behind the scenes working of all your magic you do. But thank you again for those who may not have seen it yet. It's on through till Tuesday. Make sure you see it. We're going to leave you with a trailer.
But first, Joe.
Yes.
First, Joe, we want to thank you as well, since you can't thank yourself.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. But it really was a joy, not only watching the film, learning more about it, and talking to all of you. And thank you for giving me your time. Good luck. I know, Angela, you have a little baby, so I know that is a little extra. Good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
I love doing this because I get to see all my friends that we don't get to see.
I know.
We love to do that because it's been like we have people who have been. It's been like reunion week because people haven't been able to see each other. So we're happy to be able to do that as a sidelight and a virtual hug to all of you.
Yeah.
Like this.
Thanks, Joe.
Someday we'll hopefully be together in person in beautiful Miami.
That would be amazing.
All right. Thank you all.
All right. Thanks,
Thank you. Bye, guys. Love you.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
I was quite sad to hear of Kenneth's passing. Such a vibrant man. In a community so small, the loss is truly shared.
Hell of a thing, huh? Yeah.
You must be Martin.
Yeah.
I am so sorry for your loss. I take care of the pool.
Yeah, I figured.
Are there any particular requests that Kenneth may have made for the service?
I was thinking that I would sing a song at Gypsy Kings. We're talking about my father. You're talking about my husband.
I'm gonna request that there's no singing.
You got a problem with Gypsy Kings? I can do John
I don't
Denver.
have any problem with the Gypsy
It's not the Gypsy Kings. Stop saying the Gypsy Kings.
Okay.
It's just Gypsy Kings.
Fine.
I heard about your dad. I'm so sorry, Marty.
Yeah, thanks.
How's Ted holding up?
He acts like it's his house and I'm the guest. No, it's my house. This is simple.
You're both my friends, and I'm trying to support both of you.
This all belongs to you, so you take it. No, that's your...
Ted's how I got this job. He used to do the lawn here before him and your dad,
Oh, I know.
got their thing.
Yeah.
Going on.
Okay. My girlfriend, Lauren. She's not a big fan of funerals.
I got a dress for the gala.
But really, though, how are you?
I'm not here to fight you.
Why are you here?
Your father and I, we made a life here. This is our home.
Martin,
I know you're going through a tough time right now, but are you considering selling?
Patty King, that two-faced jackal?
Come on, Colin! How's Scotty doing? He's still single?
What are you doing?
Hanging a hole! Ted! I'm fine. I'm just looking for my cat.
We're not the police, Ted.
Marty, keep it simple.